When you look at traditional cargo bikes, you'll notice that most of them have one big area for cargo, and then in some cases it's accompanied by a little additional rack. That makes for some great versatility, but to be honest, many of us don't need that big of a space. And that's what Cargo thought when they designed the CS, their CUV, their city utility vehicle. Cheeky! It still has plenty of space, but it's divided into 3 different racks with different purposes. They call it triple load concept. Let's have a look. First of all, the bike is pretty short thanks to its 20-inch wheels, and it's also quite narrow. If you look at it, just about 40 centimeters, and when you turn the steering, then it gets narrow even at the top of the bike. So it fits into most spaces which are for regular bicycles. It should fit just fine. This whole frame concept is a long diamond. Because of this frame part up here, it's no long john cargo bike, and it not just holds the top rack, but it also integrates the cable steering. And cable steering mechanisms are great because they offer a very wide steering angle for very small turning radii, and they are consistent to both sides. And as you can see, there's a ratio in the steering, so when the front wheel is turned all the way in, about just shy of 90 degrees, the handlebar itself is not turned in that far, so it should feel very natural when you ride the bike. There are 7 different versions of the CS. 70, 80 and 90, which all come with the Bosch Performance SX motor and slightly lower specs. And then there are the 100, 150 and 200 models with the Performance CX motor with 85 Newton meters of torque. And all motors support up to 25 kilometers an hour, and there's no version without a motor. And then there is the top level 200 exclusive, which comes in a special color, also with a dropper post. But this is the regular 200 model, which already features most of the accessories which the lower end model or lower end models don't have. The frame is made from aluminum, and all bikes are equipped with a suspension fork, either the Suntour Mobi 34, as in this case, or the Suntour Mobi 32 at the lower spec models. But let's talk about the racks, shall we? As I said, Cargo calls it triple load concept, but don't be fooled, not all bikes come with all racks as standard. The CS200, the top level model, obviously gets all the racks, all the bells and whistles, but the lower end models, especially the 70 and 80, just get the center rack and the top rack. And this is special as well. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's start with this rack. The rear rack is standard in 3 different models, in the CS90 Allroad, in the CS200 and in the CS200 Exclusive. And in itself, it's a great piece of design, of course. It fits well into the whole frame concept of the Cargo CS. It holds this lock, so it's very convenient to use in the daily life. And the rear rack is equipped not just with the MIG HD interface, but it also is capable of holding up to 27 kilograms, so it's capable to fit child seats as well. And then there are these rails, which are capable of holding any pannier bag. And as you have seen right here at this side, they also have these studs which hold oddly bags with the QL3 system, so very convenient and very easy to use. The second rack is the top rack, and in this case it's equipped with the extended front rack, which is a pretty hefty piece of material. So it's capable of holding a Eurobox with the dimensions of 40 by 60 centimeters, and as you can see, many possibilities to strap things down. I got my Fahrer strap down here, or up here, I must say. The only downside is that it's just capable of holding 18, or it's allowed to hold 18 kilograms. I think it would be capable of doing more, but when you put heavy loads onto the top rack, of course, the bike gets a little bit top heavy when you ride it compared to the third rack. We'll get to that in a second. But this extended front rack is not fixed on the bike. You can use this piece of metal, this key, push it in there, and then you can just get the extended front rack off. And then you have another MIG HD interface, as again capable of holding 18 kilograms, and a small pouch, a small area to put small items. But also there's the possibility or the opportunity to put pannier bags onto this rail again. So if you have 4 pannier bags, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, so it's very easy, very convenient again. This extended front rack is standard in some models, again not in all of them, but it's also available as an accessory for the lower spec models. I made good use of it, but it's also possible, of course, in this MIG HD interface, when we get this off again, to put baskets onto there. And this is how I use the bike in most cases, because it's very easy to just put things into there and then ride off. So very easy to use, and I think, yeah, it even looks cool. But the main rack and the thing that differentiates this bike from most others is the center rack, because it has several points which makes it unique. First of all, it's very, very low. It's lower than with most long john cargo bikes, and so when you ride the bike and you put heavy loads into this center rack, the center of gravity gets lower, obviously, and so the bike rides very, very planted. And I actually realized it when I made my riding impression video on the German channel. I put a bag up here first and one bag down there, so it was even between the 2 racks. And then I put the second bag down here as well, so the center rack was fully loaded with about 35 kilograms. And it was definitely a difference. You can feel that the bike gets more agile, more nimble, and it really rides very stable and very solid. But let's look at the rack again, because again, they thought about the size, and this center rack is made for drinks crates, especially for beer, I have been told, because of its size of about 35 by 40 centimeters. Every German beer crate fits into there without hassle. And then there's this accessory to cover it up in case you don't want everybody to know. But again, this is optional, and when you don't need it and you want to have this center rack open, you can just push it up here into this sleeve and get it out of sight, which is easy with 2 hands, but not as much with 1 hand. Then there's this mat, which is optional as well, but I would definitely recommend it, so the bike gets even quieter. Then there are these rails again and holes to strap things down, and the space is obviously limited to this crate size, but it's very easy to use in case you don't have items which are too high, obviously. And then another accessory that I like is this utility bag, which fits into this frame part down here. Just open it, and there's space for the lock, for example, or for other small items. And it's blue from the inside, so it's very easy to see the things that are in there. Of course, this is optional and not even standard with the CS exclusive model, but I would definitely recommend it when you order this bike. So all 3 racks have their distinct use case, but they're all pretty limited space-wise. So it's less a real cargo bike and more of a lifestyle bike for everyday use, because, let's be honest, it rides terrific. The steering is precise and has some heft to it, which lets the bike feel, well, high quality. And the motor as well, it propels the CS really great. However, I think that the Enviolo gear hub holds it back a bit. I think with the SX motor, with some lighter and more efficient gears, it will have an even sportier approach. When we come to the seating position, it's very variable, but a tad too long for our taste. I pushed the saddle all the way forward, but I think it could be a little bit shorter. But thanks to the very long seat post, even very small and very tall people can fit on this bike and find a suitable position. But one downside again, if you have different riders and riding styles, you have to use tools to adjust the handlebars. And when you go over curbs and roots in the road, the suspension feels absolutely great, and the CS rides incredibly safe and stable. And also the brakes are very easy to use and very effective with these big rotors, which is not seen on any other bike of this small size. One thing that holds the bike back is its weight figures. Cargo claims that the lightest bike of the CS models is about 35.5 kilograms, but I weighed this bike in its configuration that I got, and it's about 10 kilograms heavier. So 46 kilograms for such a small bike, and the total weight of 180 kilograms is not that much. That means, especially for heavier riders with 120 kilograms. So first of all, it's great that this bike is suitable for riders up to 120 kilograms. This is not common. But if you are heavy and you have this bike, there's just 14 kilograms left to pack onto the bike. So yeah, it's great for heavier people, but I would love to see a total maximum weight of 200 kilograms to broaden the capabilities even further. So who's this bike for? If your regular transportation needs don't exceed your groceries, drinks crates, sport bags, school rucksacks, you name it, or if you're a handyman or a handy woman for that matter, and you have your toolbox with you and you don't need a big box for heavy items, then this bike is for you. So if you look for a regular e-bike which just can do more of everything. It rides great with and without load, and it's really easy to handle in day-to-day use. But if you're looking for a bike to haul your kids, well, then this is not it. But luckily, Cargo also has the FS models, which are made for kids transport. What do you think of the Cargo CS, the city utility vehicle? Just write it down in the comments. Give a thumbs up if you like the video, and if you want to see more of these videos, then consider subscribing. See you in the next one.